She said, ask him if he's read the NT.
Yeah, the New who? Chad, of course he read the New Testament.
Of course, yeah.
Yeah, I read both Old and New Testament. Yep.
Just
how
so
could
you
he
know.
be quoting if he, how could he be quoting these things?
No. Maybe she's talking about you, the Jewish one.
Oh, I'm referring to the Jewish one. Yeah, I've read portions of the New Testament. Yes, I like the King James version. They have the words of Jesus in red. That's one of the selling points. It stands out. The words of Jesus in red. But okay.
Just so you know, Mary, we have 3 people on the line. I think we've got Elisa. You still there?
I'm here.
Elisa is converted from Judaism to
it's not
Catholic.
It's Judaism.
Judaism to a Catholic.
Oh yeah, I got to work on her.
Yeah. Chad, the one you just heard, he's a born-again Christian. My friend Mark over here, the doc.
I'm Jewish.
He's Jewish, and I'm a mixed up breed.
Very true.
So that's our that's who you've got on right now. And our friend Chad has been working with us and teaching us the Bible and telling us a lot about Christ and his teachings. And we're learning slowly.
Is somebody new going on the line?
There's a woman named Mary. She listens to our show quite a few times, but she just
Yeah, Felix scares a lot of people away. That's why. They don't always comment.
Oh, okay. Well, we're having a very interesting discussion about Judaism today. And we're talking about what makes Judaism Judaism.
Okay, one thing.
What about these Jews? This is really fascinating.
I think she's saying that you'll break.
It's a longer discussion, guys. We should really spend time with it because it is so deep. And in fact, I got a guy. If you guys want, he's a Messianic Jewish person, and I want him to join the show. I'm going to try to get him on. He's a little, I don't know if he's shy or what, but I had called my friend and told him I wanted him on.
Well, why don't you tell him that, Chad, why don't you tell him that he can type into if he doesn't want to speak, at least at first. What?
That's hard to keep big conversations with in the chat room.
Well, I mean, he can start that way. We have people that started out in the chat room. I called it the Chad room. Started out in the chat room and then called up the show.
Hey, Chad, can you just hang up and call back? They're telling me you're breaking up quite a bit, and they can hear everybody else.
Am I breaking up now?
Yeah.
It sounds like I said before. It sounds like you're hoarse. That you have a raspy throat.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay. Do you want me to what line do you want me to call?
It almost doesn't pay because we're
same
are we
number.
Still on? Yeah, I guess we are still on.
Same number.
Same number. Okay.
Let's see if that helps any, Mary. I hope I told the right one to hang up.
Jesus will forgive you.
Thank you. Mary said there's absolutely no reason if you read the NT for you why you're still a Jew.
Say that again?
I believe she said that there's no reason if you read the New Testament.
No reason for what?
For you to be still a Jew, I guess she's saying.
Well, listen, I'm just a person who has an open mind, a very open mind. Okay, I am Jewish. I don't profess to be anything else. I have a sister who is a born-again Christian. She has accepted Jesus Christ as her Savior, and she's entitled to her opinion. And we don't talk religion. If you had listened in the past, you would know that I used to have conversations with my dad, and my dad knows that I was always into religion. And he asked me, "Would you have been a follower if you had lived during the time of Jesus?" And I told him I probably would have been a disciple. So that's how far I would go. But now we're talking about the 21st century. We're not talking about 33 AD. Okay, so I don't live in Jerusalem at the beginning of the first millennia. Okay, in the first century. I live here and now. A lot of the things that it would be nice if people could live their life the way Jesus says we should live our lives. Okay, but unfortunately, people having human flaws, it's always let's do it to them before they do it to us. I live my life. Somebody else lives his life. I am very open to people who believe differently from me. I'm not looking to evangelize. Okay. I understand a lot of stuff that Chad says. It makes a lot of sense to me. But that's as far as it goes. You on, Chad?
Yeah. Hey, Mark.
I think it was
it sounds the same. What was that?
No, she said he sounds fine. We're the ones that
we're the ones, I know.
Yeah, we're the ones that don't sound good.
But his voice doesn't sound any better to me. That's the problem.
To me, his voice sounds fine.
To you?
Yeah.
Not to me. You want to listen? Hold on, Chad. Yeah.
Hello. Do I sound like I have a frog in my throat?
Hey, Chad.
Jingle bell, rock.
Oh, man, you sound bad.
It's the summer.
No kidding. That's what I'm
my
listening
heavens.
Jingle bell, jingle all the way.
You really sound.
That's
really strange.
Felix, that's blasphemous. Don't call on the heavens to help you out.
Everywhere.
I didn't hear what you said.
Hey, Mark, I got a question for you.
Oh, now what happened?
I fixed it.
How did you fix it?
I reset the voice meter.
Oh, no!
No,
Now
you guys still sound choppy, but Chad sounds clear.
Huh.
I know. I can hear them better, I think.
Yeah, I don't know why we would sound choppy. That is not making sense to me.
Oh, now you're choppy. Never mind. I thought you sounded better, but you don't sound like. Hey, Mark, can you hear me okay, Mark?
Yeah, now I hear you fine, yes.
Okay. Let me ask you this quick question. I get what you're saying, and I respect that. Yeah, I can't convert you, and I think I've told you guys that 100 times. Okay.
Right.
But just out of curiosity, okay. So you got your own little opinion in how you live your life religiously, okay? Whatever that means to you, okay, in your Judaism, or you practice what you practice, and okay. But what if God himself, Mark, was telling you that it ought to be a different way? Do you care about that at all?
Sure, I would.
Okay, but if you really cared about that, though, now I'm just throwing this out here for you to think about it, okay? Would your attitude be then what you're thinking currently religion is? Sort of subjective, it's my thing. If other people want to walk the way they want to walk, that's fine. See, I don't. In my faith, I don't live that subjectively.
But you see,
objectively.
Chad, you remember I told you from day one practically that the disciple that I identify most with is Thomas, because I would be a doubting Thomas. I would
repented
because Thomas saw.
Lived life.
But Thomas saw. That's what I'm saying. Right now, all I have is.
So you're saying Mark, are you saying that you won't believe until you see?
Basically, yeah. I know you said to me your argument was
practice. Yeah.
Now I was going to say your argument with me was, well, as far as being Jewish, and I said, well, I was born Jewish. Well, why? Well, my parents were Jewish. Okay. I can't explain it any other way. If I...
Yeah, Mark, do you practice Judaism? you practice it?
To a point, yes. I mean, I don't go to synagogue all the time. But
what's the point of
I
it if seeing is believing? Like, you can't see God, right? I mean, you've never seen God before, have you?
no, no.
Okay,
Listen,
so why practice it then? Because your philosophy is, if I don't see it, I can't believe it.
my wife has seen images now, not now, but before I even met her. She had seen images of her mother who had passed away sitting on the edge of her bed. Okay. My sister, not the one who's born again, but my other sister said she has seen, when she's thinking about my mom and she talks about her, she has seen a puff of smoke, and my mother was basically a pretty heavy smoker. Okay. And she believed that that was a sign from my mother. Okay, I have never seen a sign of anything. Okay, so I'm waiting for somebody to show me something that I can tangibly say, now I believe. And until that happens, I'll remain a Jew.
Okay, but when you say you will remain a Jew, that means very little to me, because for instance, the Hebrews believed because they had great faith in God. They saw the miracles. God walked with them. He sent them prophets. Okay, so they had, at least to the limited sense, they had reason to believe. But your philosophy is, I can't see
right.
it,
So then,
why
should I believe
it, but
if
I
I
still practice anyway?
say that again?
But your philosophy is, if I can't see it, then I really don't believe it. But yet you still choose to participate in a religious faith.
In philosophy, it's called a priori knowledge. Okay, it's something that's innate in me that I believe. I believe, but it's just something that I have inside me that tells me that I'm Jewish, and I believe that I'm Jewish, and I know that I'm Jewish. If there was, that's
what
why.
What does it mean to be Jewish, Mark? What does it mean?
Really?
Because I guarantee you, I promise you this, that your definition of being Jewish is different than God's definition of being Jewish.
Well, I'm sure it might be. I am. If you go back to 2,000 years ago, there was no Orthodox, conservative, or Jew or Reformed branches of Judaism.
90 seconds.
You were Jewish. You were Hebrew, and that's what you were. It's only over time that we have Hasidim. That we have the various sects breaking. The Hasidim, Orthodox Judaism. And within the Orthodox sect, you have Lubavitchers, people who believe follow a certain rabbi.
60 seconds.
And then over time, people. The only thing I can think of is that people made the break because maybe they felt that Orthodox Judaism was too strict. And they wanted to follow Judaism, but they wanted to make some changes. So that's how you got conservative Judaism, where their services are a little different. It's in Hebrew and English, and the men and women sit together. And then you finally get Reform Judaism, which I know you're going to laugh when I tell you this, but growing up, I used to say Reform Judaism. I used to consider Reform Judaism one step above Catholicism. Okay?
10 seconds.
They didn't always have services on Saturday. If there was a bar mitzvah or a bat mitzvah, they would have services. They held